Hello and welcome to episode 156 on the Online Trainers Podcast. Today's topic is why you suck at selling. Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Linh. Now, I had one of my boys, Elliot, post inside of the Online Trainers Club yesterday. He had an amazing month. I think $24,000 over 24 days. Now, we tend to hear a lot of these, beefed up numbers. I know when I first started out, I had these experts and gurus telling me, we made 5K in 5 days. And, what Elliot's been able to do, it's been absolutely fantastic. But why I really care more, not so much about the numbers, but more so the lesson that you can learn inside of that is because my boy Elliot was coaching previously with another business mentor over the course of 12 months. And the reality was what he was taught to do was he was taught to generate leads, make sales. And that's kind of that, and kind of just go on and set up your coaching program. Now, Elliot had two issues. And one of the biggest issues was, number one, he didn't have a scalable product. That was first and foremost. He had one product. It was a year-long coaching program with him. And, it was, I think, $97 or so a week. And whilst that's great, it's a very, very simple model because, the whole idea is that if he had 200 clients at $97 a week, he'd be a millionaire, right? And so a lot of the times what we found was that that's not so much the case. That's the hyperbole. That's the hyped up version of the whole marketing process. And when I sat down with Elliot, we sat down and we did two things. Number one, we had to figure out, okay, cool, how can he scale his business? And if you've ever heard of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I highly recommend that group. He says, look, if you are trading time for money, that's the worst trade in the world. Now, people who trade time for money are employees. Now, I know most of you guys that are listening to this aren't employees, but the second thing is if you work inside of your job, if you run a business and you're working inside of your job, you still are trading time for money. Okay, so most personal trainers I know fall inside of this category. You start to begin, that 95% transition to build wealth when you step out and you own a system. What does that mean? It means that, look, at this moment in time, if you are getting clients and you are finding yourself having to fulfill for them, then you are stuck in a job. You are trading time for money. And so ultimately the question then becomes, Lynn, well, how do I fulfill for them, right? How do I fulfill for them? And this is a really, really great question because ultimately they're there to have your presence and your aura and they're buying into your certainty. But here's the reality. You are not allowed to give them your time. Okay. Now the question you need to ask yourself is, okay, great, Lynn, if I'm not giving them my time, how the hell do I get them results? And as soon as you enter this question, then you start to become resourceful because that's the question that you need to ask yourself. If they're coming in for a result, if they're coming in to transform their life, if they're coming in to become a better dad, whatever your spin is, right? Then ultimately, how do you pull yourself out, remove the time from the equation so you aren't spending time, you are leveraging your time and ultimately get them a result. Now, you're not going to be spending zero time, but you're going to be amplifying your 1 hour. Your 1 hour, you can broadcast that with about 100 people, 1,000 people as you grow that, okay? And as soon as we discovered this, as soon as we discovered how you actually pull yourself out and create a system to get people results, for example, setting up a flagship program, setting up a community, what is actually going to get your clients results? And for a lot of people, they think more information, and the truth is more information won't get results. Okay, accountability won't get results as well. Like you can keep somebody accountable, but if they're not following through, if they're not, doing the work, and you keep nagging them, they're just going to drop off. And I know this because I've done this and I'm sure you're going through this thing as well. So the question is, Lynn, if I can get somebody results, right? If I can get somebody results, that's just going to amplify my business. So how do I get people results? Well, you need to understand a few things, and we'll touch base on this over a few podcast episodes. But the reality is, here's the thing: you create a new identity, and you create a new set of beliefs, rules, and habits for that person. And you say, this to work with Elliot, right? To work with Elliot, these are the rules. You're going to live by this code. You're going to be this person, you're going to be this person, you're going to be this person. You will not complain, you will show up, you will do the work. If you want to come in then come in. If you don't want to come in, then please, that's okay too. Do not stress. You just don't have to work with me. These are the rules. These are the code that we live by. Okay, so that's first and foremost. These are the rules, right? As soon as you identify with that, you then go, okay, this is what I'm willing to take and this is not what I'm willing to take. This is how much I value my time and this is how much I value my program and my community, and this isn't. If you're not willing to live by these rules, forget about it. Goodbye. And so as soon as we identify and change these rules, what naturally happened was Elliot had so much certainty inside of his program, inside of his community, inside of his cause, that every single sale then stacked up one on top of another. And the reasons why you suck at selling at this moment is because of the lack of certainty in your belief that you can get your prospect the result that they're after. Because I want you to ask yourself the question, if you knew that you were better, you're way better than anybody else on the marketplace, whatever it was, Jenny Craig, Light and Easy, blah, 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 all those bodybuilding guys, Instagram, whatever it was, if you knew that you're better than them, and that if that client didn't go on and sign and work with you, that client would eventually work with them, what would you do? Right? That level of certainty, and I want you to think about that for a second, that level of certainty is actually going to come through, and you will not have to convince the prospect to buy. The prospect will buy, and the prospect will feel liberated because they're like, holy crap, thank God. Thank God I actually took up this opportunity to work with you. Yes, and they become happy to buy, and you don't feel salesy. And so there were two things that we did. Number one, make sure that you get results. We needed to make sure that Elliot built out a scalable program that could pull himself out, understanding that he actually didn't need a lot of his time to get the person results. I know, that's pretty crazy. I thought that was impossible as well. But trust me, I tried it the other way, and I tried supporting people. I tried to follow up on them. I tried to send them emails. I tried to call them, and they still wouldn't get results. So the question you need to ask yourself is, if you are trying to build a scalable business, it's something that, and you are trying to create a movement and grow, number one, are you stuck? Are you stuck in your business? Are you built for scale? Number two, if you are entering your sales calls right now and you need to ask yourself, wow, did I feel like I was selling them? Then understand that there is a roadblock, and that roadblock is your inability to have that certainty to get people results. And so what do you have to do to fix this? Well, you go back and get people results. And that is the number one key question that you should be figuring out. And so this, and amongst the movement that we're creating in Legacy, the movement that we're creating in 10X Coach, is your ability to get clients results. How do you get people results? Because I know a lot of you guys out here are searching for that new Facebook ad, but the reality is there is going to be a roadblock. There is going to be a roadblock when you market, when you sell, because of your inability to get people results. Because here's the reality. The reality is, if you knew you were amazing at what you did right now, you would have no trouble putting out your marketing. You'd have no trouble having a voice on Facebook. You'd have no trouble selling, and every other domino would be knocked over. And it comes to this one core message, that it is the belief and it's the certainty in your ability to deliver. And once you have that certainty, my Lord, it's powerful. And that's the type of certainty that you need if you're going to grow a business now. That's the type of certainty that you need to move away from a commodity market to carve a market of your own. That's the type of certainty that you need, that a Facebook ad, that a Facebook lead ad, that tricks, tips and tactics and all of these things that you're getting sold on inside of the shiny object, that's not going to give to you. The certainty is what you need, and it begins with finding you. What do you stand for? What are you willing to do? So my friends, I'm going to leave you with this powerful message today. And this is a very, very powerful message that's going to have a profound impact, not only on your business, your whole life. It's going to shape your destiny, really, if you take action on it and you put your foot down today to figure out this question. How are you getting results for your business? How are you getting results for your clients? What rules? Are you willing to let go of some clients because they do not fit the rules that you are willing, right? That you are set for your community and that you are willing to live by with every single person inside of your community. If you can't, be prepared for a long haul. So my friends, have a fantastic day. And if you haven't checked it out, go check out the Online Trainers Club. Go check out Elliot's video, because you'll learn a lot. The lesson isn't in the 24,000. That's the result of him applying these teachings. Okay? Have a fantastic day, my friends.
Alright, if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes and feel free to leave a review, and that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.